What's up, mighty boys and girls, it's the Ranger Boy here and welcome to another video. And again, it's all about the upcoming Gen 8 anime and how especially one announcement has changed the overall vibe for anime fans from mildly looking forward to it to absolutely crazy hype. At the same time, this one announcement could imply a major change moving forward, which is an anime series without Ash. On the one hand, there are many people who wish that Ash would finally disappear and be replaced with a trainer which is more competent compared to our forever 10-year-old boy. On the other hand, there are also fans out there who are scared that Ash will be replaced since they stuck with him for so long. So in today's video, I want to talk about whether Ash will be replaced in the upcoming Pokemon Gen 8 anime and how likely / unlikely it actually is. So if you want to know my opinion, again, my opinion, then grab some popcorn, grab some cookies, and let's do this. The biggest argument of why Ash could end his journey now is because of the logo looking very similar to the movie logos of the I Choose You movie and the Power of Us movie, and as a result of that, people think that this could hint on the whole anime franchise being either rebooted to start over with new characters and new story, or that they will continue the journey with the movie 20 version of Ash, who also is traveling through regions. In regards of the latter argument, I will say this. It is possible that they could continue with movie 20 Ash. In my opinion, with that version of Ash, they have the possibility to have a character who we are familiar with, while at the same time also feels like a fresh new start. With this Ash, they could basically rewrite Ash's entire journey, while also improving different aspects that his former self couldn't do. For example, winning the league, no stupid beginner mistakes like he did in Black and White, and, you know, maybe getting a girlfriend. The big problem I see in this replacement would be that the current version of Ash would have so many unanswered questions in regards of his adventure if it would end now. There are still many open questions we have in regards of Ash. Who is his father? Will he ever grow up? Heck, will he ever age? For the shippers, will he finally get a girlfriend? Will he finally evolve this Pokemon or that Pokemon? Will he ever be a champion or enter the so-called League of Champions that Cynthia was talking about? And so many more questions in regards of this one guy. And if you end it right here, right now, it would be a rather unsatisfying conclusion to a beloved character. In regards of a reboot of the whole franchise without Ash as the main protagonist, it's basically the same arguments which I mentioned before, you know, with the whole unanswered questions in regards of Ash, but with one major twist. If you would remove an established character like Ash that we have been familiar with for so long, for 2 decades, that in my opinion would anger a lot of hardcore fans, and as a result of that, they would leave the anime. Sure, there might be people who would be interested in seeing a brand new protagonist in the anime, but in my opinion, having a character with familiarity is a safer bet than risking it with a new character we have to get used to. Another argument which kinda speaks against a whole reboot of the series is Ash's current state in the franchise. So while tackling the whole removing Ash discussion, we also have to take a look at the current state of Ash and if it really is a good point to end his journey. And in my humble opinion, it's not the right point. If we would end the journey now, we would end with Ash maybe winning the Alola League, but at the same time winning a league which basically is a hybrid version of the real thing, since everybody was able to participate without really earning it, and with mostly 1v1 matches. And for many people, that's like ending Ash's journey during the Orange Island saga, a region with some gimmicks to earn badges instead of, you know, the traditional Pokemon concept, even though Pikachu taking out Dragonite was fucking badass. Also, another reason to not end his adventure in his current state is solely because, in my opinion, it doesn't really feel like the current Ash, aka Sun and Moon Ash, is at his peak. I always imagine that if Ash would end his career, it should be at his peak of abilities, with the best Pokemon he has, against opponents where Ash needs his entire knowledge and skills to defeat them. And in case of Sun and Moon, we don't have that. Sun and Moon Ash doesn't have a full team. Some of his Pokemon haven't even reached the maximum of their potential, and even though his skills are really good, we know that he can do much better. We have seen it in battles against Gary, Paul and Sawyer that this guy is capable of more, much more, and for me, Sun and Moon Ash is close. Really close to them, but he's still not quite there. Also, most of Ash's opponents didn't really brought out his skills, like Faber and especially How. Don't get me started with How! Just thinking of Ash with How makes me really angry again. Anyway, I'm glad that they did a proper job with Guzma, and I'm sure that they will do a fine job with Gladion. But to me, it's clear that Ash should end his journey with a satisfying conclusion to his main rivals, who he had history with, instead of having 2 rivals who debuted 90 plus episodes after the anime has aired and barely got time to build up a relationship with Ash. At least him and Gladion had some proper history between them, but even with that, do you really want to end his journey with so many lacking aspects he had during his time in Alola? Again, in my opinion, if his journey would end, it should end in a bang and not in such an unsatisfying manner like in Sun and Moon. But what I think is the biggest problem and why Ash at this point shouldn't and can't be replaced is because of one simple reason. He has been there for too long. In my opinion, they had many chances to end his journey after his battle with Gary, after the Sinnoh League, and after the Kalos League, but they kept on going and going and ongoing, which leads to Ash being so intertwined into the anime that he now is the main face of the anime. Sure, the main face of the franchise is still Pikachu, but the main faces of the anime are Ash and Pikachu, and in my opinion, putting in another trainer with a Pikachu wouldn't fill the gap that Ash would leave behind. At this point, removing Ash from the Pokemon franchise is like removing Goku from Dragon Ball. Again, some people might want to watch the upcoming Gen 8 anime if there is a new protagonist, but at the same time, many people might tune out because there isn't a character they are familiar with and which could fit in that role. No other character has such a connection with the anime than Ash and his Pikachu. Yes, not even Red, because Red is an established game character. And speaking of Red, things like Pokemon Origins and Pokemon Generations have shown that different versions of the anime can work and can be popular. But is that really enough to replace a guy who has been there with us for so long? For 2 decades? And if they would replace him with Red or any other character, there will always be comparisons, which in my opinion would divide the community. And not only the Sun and Moon anime, but also the whole bring back national Dex controversy has done that more than enough. So why risking to divide the fandom once more? In my opinion, it's way too risky, and at this point, the Pokemon Company can't risk another controversy like that. So the easiest solution would be to keep Ash. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me your opinion about the whole removing Ash question. And just like always, I can't wait to see you guys in the comments down below. Bye guys!